Another month, another chance to mix it up when it comes to everyday carry. This is the everyday carry for me right now, month of October 2025. Halloween, pumpkin spice, haunted houses, zombie safaris. We got a lot of stuff on the agenda, sneaker balls. We got a lot of stuff on the agenda. And my carry is going to grow. It's going to get more bulky. I like the fall. I like carrying a lot of crap. Let's just talk about the boomstick, the thing that's going to protect us in most places that we go to. We are going to, in a hidden hybrid holster, we are rocking. This is the Smith & Wesson. This is a 380. This is the Gen 1. They've, of course, since come out with the Gen 2. Fantastic little weapon that they rock here. It's very good, especially if you are just rocking this bad boy with iron sights. It does function just fine. It's super small on the waistline, or if, dare I say it, if you tried to carry this thing in a pocket. I like the way it shoots. I like using it with iron sights. I know you can get optics on this. You can even get it with a laser. But I think I've trained with this so much, iron sights only, that at this point, I don't even know if I will feel comfortable putting any type of optics on this and trying to relearn the whole type of system. If you decide to get this, get Gen 2, or if you find a Gen 1 on a deal, get the trigger adjusted, because my trigger had way too much pounds of test when I initially got it. Other than that, I've had this one for over a decade now that I've had this weapon. Very reliable. The thing about this is I do like it in this hidden hybrid holster because it does have velvet on the back, which feels nice against your waist, and it reduces likelihood of a lot of sweat. It doesn't move around as easily. It feels fantastic. It does have a very good clip, which allows for you to put it over your belt or over your trousers or sweats. Even in sweats, if you don't have a belt on, this still holds on pretty good. You can get there. They have a version with a claw, which will kind of keep it from exiting when you actually draw the weapon. I have that on a few other my other weapons. I didn't feel the need for it on this one, but Old Faithful here, my go-to when it comes to anything that I'm rocking for just protection purposes. And then we got to talk about the knife. This is the new Chaves Redencion, but this one's with their new X-Lock. Very new addition to their lineup because this is them venturing into a crossbar lock for the first time. And to get the price down, but to still give you the Chaves flavor, they compromise on some of the materials, but I still think it feels premium. Aluminum scales instead of titanium. D2 steel instead of the higher end M390 or anything else they might use. But you still get the flavoring of a Chaves knife. You get that skull pocket clip, or you can put the regular pocket clip on there. It comes with both. Their X-Lock feels fantastic. I will say that I don't know who's in the design team, but it does have a really good system to it. For me personally, sometimes I do miss with the thumb stud. Especially when I'm trying to reverse flick or spidey flick. Those are the only times I kind of miss. But if you're just going to use your thumb to open it, I never miss for those. That's a pretty easy one. Or if you're going to walk it open slowly, I never miss with that. But the reverse flick and spidey flick, I do miss every now and again. Shout out to Blade HQ for sending this out. I didn't pay for this. They're not sponsoring this video, but they did send this to me to check out and to keep. And I love what they did with this. You're still getting a standoff. You're still getting very premium materials. And this is less than $100. One of the most reasonably priced Chaves knives out there. You're still getting the Redencion. You're still getting the skull flavoring. I could easily recommend this. Slices through your daily tasks. And you could also use this for more substantial use cases like your hunting tasks and stuff like that. And I like the action on this X-Lock itself. I mean, just very accessible, ambidextrous when it comes to accessing the knife. It's not an ambidextrous pocket clip, so keep that in mind if you're wrong-handed. Other than that, I really like this a ton, and I've been enjoying this being in the pocket. Speaking being on the body and how much I've been enjoying, we got to shout out today's video sponsor, which is Vaer, and they are supporting this month the C3 Dirty Dozen, which drops the automatic movement of the A12 Dirty Dozen and still gives you the look and refinement of those first 12 companies that were contracted during World War II to provide a reliable, shock-proof, very accurate watch for troops that were fighting so that they can know when to move out of an area, when to deploy to an area. These are fantastic watches. I think they look really good. Sapphire crystal glass. You're getting a lockdown, screw down crown on the side of here. Vaer's stamp on this. It has a very good look. 2 watch straps are included. And the thing about this is that 36 millimeters looks really good on my 7.5-inch wrist. For you, maybe you want to get a 40, but I would say for these type of watches, don't go bigger if you're going with anything. I just think 36 or 40 is about, it looks really, really refined on a wrist. Me personally, I love how small this is and the fact that I'm able to use this if I'm going from office wear to tonight. I'm going to be going to a birthday party with a buddy where we're going to have an elegant dinner. Then we're going to transition to some ratchetness at the club. This works for all those. And this is 10 times better than a smartwatch because when the power goes out, this quartz movement, it's much more reliable, lasts way longer than any smartwatch. And I'm a big fan of it. The thing is you get the 10 atmospheres of waterproof. You get a 2-year waterproof guarantee, and you just get a watch that looks much doper than most watches at this price point on the market. Check the link down below for the best pricing. Shout out to Vaer for sponsoring today's video. And I think you really should rock a real watch. I just did my full review of their C4 tactical watch. I oftentimes, if you see me in a smartwatch, it is for a very specific reason. I'm rucking, I'm cutting the grass. That's about it. Now, I will say this next item is ugly AF, but it functions so effing good. This is the Nextorch TA70. This is a flashlight, but Nextorch has a lot of contracts with organizations, with governments overseas in Europe. And I didn't know how well their stuff functioned until they sent me out a few items to check out. They sent this flashlight out. I didn't think I would like it. I already have Olights and Nicors and Rovivans and a lot of flat flashlights, but this one is so easy to use. If you put it in tactical mode, you get instant access to brightness. You can put it in duty mode where you're gonna get all 3 high, low, medium, and high, or you can put it in lockout mode where it won't accidentally turn on whatsoever. This actual built-in ring is really makes it easy to use. So you push it constant on by giving it a nice click. And then once it's on, you have click to go through the different modes. I like the sound of the constant on. It gives you confidence without looking at the flashlight that you've definitely turned it on. And then you just have click to go through the different modes. Fantastic. Now I'm going to take you guys to tactical mode, strobe morning. When it's in tactical mode, which is what I just put it in right now, you can go half click will get you full brightness. And when I go full click, we're going to get strobe. Strobe mode on this is very, very usable for a light this size. And because of their technology, Nextorch has this technology inside, which helps keep this thing cool. You can keep high brightness mode on this thing for 45 seconds to a minute easily, if not longer than that. As much as I love my Olights of the world, my Nicors of the world, they cannot maintain their turbo modes as long as this flashlight. It also has ceramic glass breakers in the front. Would you ever need those? I don't know, but they're there. Good LEDs on there as well. Ugly flashlight, functional flashlight. You may want to take the ring off if you're going to wear this in a pocket a lot. I'm going to tell you how I oftentimes carry this. This has not been in my left pocket as often as I carry flashlights because of the ring. But when you have the ring, you're not going to want to get rid of it. Nextorch did a good job with this one. If you're getting good content out of this video, hit the like button. Also, subscribing to the channel. I like talking about everything from affairs that have to do with SHTF and your public safety and prep, all the way to everyday carrying and kind of whatever the F I want to. So if you like that type of stuff that's like man focused, then this is the place for you. I would love to have you part of the battalion. Speaking of stuff that I think is very manly, walnut and leather. That's like the definition of a God tier wallet. Now I had to build this out with this Dango A10 series wallet to get it exactly how I want it, because when you buy this, you're getting Dytex, if I'm mispronouncing that, pound sand, or you're going to get their G10 for the A10 series. I have since freaked this out how I wanted to. Now, they originally sent this to me in the standard version. I like this wallet so much, they being Dango. I bought the walnut backplate myself. I bought the leather faceplate myself. This is a very functional wallet because you can slide this entire part up. It gets you access to cards that maybe you don't use as often. I normally keep a driver's license right here. And then I can show that if I'm going somewhere or whatever. And then the cards I use the most, I keep in this actual pull tab area. So I can go through, pull these out, grab these bad boys, use them when I see fit. Very functional type of wallet. And the thing is, it does have RFID blocking technology, but when you buy these wallets, they send you one additional layer of RFID blocking technology in the form of these little cards that they sell on their website. So it gives you even more peace of mind that you are actually going to keep from skimming on your credit cards and stuff like that. Just add this to basically any part that you want to, or any other wallet for that case. You could buy those on their website. Very functional. I added this little pull tab because it does make it that much easier to get it out of my pocket, but you can add their neck lanyard and wear it on your neck. It's a lot of different options for this bad boy. The conceal, this is the waist pack, okay, by Brown Buffalo. Brown Buffalo is one of those companies where if you want the highest quality of stitching and materials, you go with Brown Buffalo. There's companies that are on their level, but they are slow to produce stuff because they are such sticklers on quality. They have a great warranty. This is the smallest waist pack that I own of any company, but I like carrying a lot because it just, if I need to unload my pockets from any of the crap that you see here, from my gun all the way to my wallet, any of the stuff can go in here. So if I find myself going on a hayride, or if I'm going to be going onto a haunted house or something where something become a jar or lost, I throw stuff in here. So that's what I like this so much. Great zippers on this YKK. My only complaint about any product from Brown Buffalo has always been their zipper pulls. I think that if they could figure out a way to make this just a little bit, it's just a loop, which a lot of zipper pulls do it. But sometimes my zipper pulls come loose and they fall off. So I wish they kind of brought this coating up higher, which would makes it a little bit harder for it to come off. That's a first world problem, and I mostly have that issue on their tote bag. I haven't had it as much on this. They did not send me this bag. I bought this one with my own money. One thing I like about it is look how freaking bright the inside of this bad boy is. Meaning if you are wondering if you forgot something or whatever, it's easier to see inside, especially if you're in a dark nightclub, a dark restaurant. It's easier to, just that much easier to see inside. In here, I do keep, this is their the Muzzin. This is their Wild Mini speaker. It's like a 6-watt or 10-watt speaker. This is great if you're hanging out with buddies, smoking a cigar, sitting on a patio. You didn't think it was going to be so quiet or boring. I pull this thing out all the time, turn it on, and it has a nice Bluetooth speaker. It also has a flashlight, which I never use, but it has one on there if you need it. And it charges with USB Type-C, and it looks freaking dope. Looks like a piece of comm that you would get from like the Vietnam era. Also, my key setup for this month and probably for the foreseeable future is I'm back on the key bar system, made in America. This is their titanium system with the crosshatch pattern. What I like about this one particularly is that, once again, just like my Esker setup, no jingling, no noise whatsoever. It's coupled with the wingback key loop system. And these two items together make it so that if I don't need my key fob, I can just simply undo it, leave these at home, which I'll do all the time if I'm going on a ruck, walk out my front door and I have my front door key, I have the keys to my storage unit or whatever. If I need to unlock my tonneau cover of my truck, I can leave my truck running and unlock it. Yeah, I still have to put the key in the ignition of my truck, but you know, it is what it is. I enjoy it quite a bit. This is a great setup. And I still have this secret $20 bill that's on here, which is, I say secret, it's more of an emergency use case. It's called the Cash System by Wingback. So this is made of black stainless steel. They also make it out of titanium or regular looking stainless steel or brass. But inside of there, a little bit hard to see, there is a rolled up $20 bill that if I get myself in a pinch, I can pull this bad boy out and pay for something, go somewhere that they don't take cards, or if I forget my wallet at home or whatever, I always have that little bit of extra in here. So also in here, normally in my pocket is the Zippo. I decided to put it in this pouch because I'm wearing it, the waist pack this way. And this is a true waist pack. It doesn't really feel that great as a sling. I like the fact it doesn't have a loop panel on the front. It's just very clean looking. This one is the X-Pack material, so I think it's really, really good. Inside, it does have 2 slip pockets. So one of them is both are mesh zip pockets. And just to show you the sizing of this bad boy, this is a iPhone 13 Pro Max. So that can fit on the inside of this, but it can't fit in this front pocket, which my front pocket I normally will leave empty if I throw candy in here or if I throw my keys in here or whatever. But it can't fit either of my phones in this front pocket. Everything does fit in the main little area though. So that's just something to keep in mind if you're going to be getting this and thinking you're going to have quick access to your bigger phones. No, maybe a third, like a regular iPhone 17 or 16 or whatever, it probably would be just fine. But this thing works out well. I like this a ton. Easy recommendation when it comes to this bad boy. So this is the loadout for this month. Will things change? Probably so, because I have been testing out a Benchmade tagged out that I recently picked up. I carried this for like 3 weeks straight, which I know in the world of owning a knife, when you review knives, is a long time. And this, we got to do a separate video on this, because this is what the Benchmade bug out should have been. But we'll talk about that later on. First time stopping by, hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you part of the battalion. If this is not your first time stopping by, well, thank you once again for watching me run my grape. For everyone else, we'll speak soon.